what I'm saying. It feels like sometimes we can get confused over what a connection is and allow ourselves to be, or maybe not allowed. I don't mean it like that. I don't, that sounds very victim blamey, and I don't believe in that. I don't think that's what this is. It's more like, um, sometimes we, instead of just acknowledging that this behavior or this treatment isn't okay, um, the term twin flame can be thrown in there to try to justify poor behavior on another person's part. I hope that makes sense. I'm really trying to be mindful of the words that I use, because I don't want it to seem in any way as though I'm saying that when someone treats you poorly, you just allow it. Um, if someone treats you poorly, it's because they have they have poor morals. They don't understand how to treat people. Um, it's not because you allow it. So I didn't mean it that way. But anyway, so what I'm sensing is that this person that you are inquiring about is realizing that you are kind of waking up to the unhealthiness of this connection, where at one point you potentially could have really depended on this person, and now you're realizing that perhaps there was a lot more manipulation here than what you would have liked to have admitted, with this keeps the rescued one needy. It's almost like this person is under the impression that you are realizing that they're almost like this false hero that portrayed themselves as a hero, or portrayed themselves as somebody who um, was here to help you, but it was really to keep you bound to them. And I'm seeing it here with the womb too. This is like, the womb is a place where you're, it's a place of nurturing, and it's a place of growth. But if you look at like what the womb is in its entirety, um, whatever is in the womb is at the mercy of the mother. Um, so yeah, I'm sensing that they are understanding, or they are really believing right now that you are kind of onto them, and you're questioning things with this trust here. You're not really sure if you trust them. You're not really sure if they have your best intentions at heart, or interests at heart. It's like they feel as though they're on the verge of being caught, or they're on the verge of being exposed. Um, and I think that they see they think that you see them as somebody who has brought them a lot of sadness, um, under the guise of like love or connection or twin flame energy, and you're kind of moving away from it now. Okay, so how do they think that you are viewing them, or how do they think you see this connection? Um, so we'll just start right here with this Nine of Pentacles, because it flew out and it was reversed with the Queen of Pentacles. This Nine Pentacles upright is something that is incredibly empowering. This is a person sitting in their solitary power. Um, she's abundant. She's in her garden. She's alone, and she knows her worth. And right underneath it is the Queen of Pentacles. So it's the same suit. It's more pentacle energy. It's more of this like what I would deem I would say knowing your worth type of thing. Um, and for this card to be reversed, I'm sensing that they think that you are viewing them as somebody who is not allowing you to step into your power. I feel like they're seeing you as this Queen of Pentacles, and they don't want that. They don't want this self-assured, stable person. They want somebody who is a little bit more insecure to keep around and to kind of manipulate. That's what they think you see them as. Um, and in all honesty, like, I think it's kind of true. I'm not picking up on like you're misinterpreting this. This is really manipulative energy. And like what I think what's so crazy to me in all honesty is that like these cards came out and at first they were like it's twin flame, rescuer, the wound, trust. These are all such wonderful cards. And like at first I was like, "Oh wow." And then I took a minute and just like sat with it and I was like, "This isn't what it seems. This is not what it seems." And I don't think that if this is how you are feeling, or how you see them as somebody who is like trying to take your power or keep your power from you, your personal power from you, um, I would say you're probably spot on. And then with the King of Cups here and then Judgment, this to me is like they feel as though the spotlight is on them right now. This Judgment card here is like they're being called out on them not actually being this King of Cups. They're not actually this emotionally mature, stable person who's comfortable in their throne. And when I saw this King of Cups, I've used this deck for a while now, and I've never really noticed the King of Cups, like what he's holding. And I noticed it immediately. There's a heart inside of this cup, and I know that the artist meant it as like an emotional cup, but the phrase that came into my head immediately when this card came out was heart eater. Like yeah, just heart eater. They think that you also see them as somebody who is I think I think that these two cards right here are them in their ego right now, and they're thinking that you also kind of think that they're like pretty amazing and um pretty powerful. Like they've gone through so much and like have come out on top. Like I think they're like trying to like they really do sense that like you feel a little bit in awe of them or like but I don't know. I think that like they might be deceiving themselves here with this energy. I think also with the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands, this is indicating that they feel like you see this connection as something that isn't um ready to be done. Like you're seeing this as something that you might potentially want to get out of, but like they don't actually think that you're going to um sever this attachment. And then finally, I guess not finally because we have this card too, but then we have the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords. I feel like they think that you are viewing yourself in this connection as like a little bit powerless, which is like kind of like what I was picking up on here, but this was more of like a I feel like they're acknowledging that you kind of sense that there's this attempt at taking away your power. But here, I think that they view themselves as having been successful. I don't know. I mean, like we have sadness here, the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords. This is very painful energy, and like I'm sensing that like they are recognizing that you are looking at this connection as something that is very harmful and very defeating, very self-defeating, and very confusing. Like I feel like they are. they're under the impression that you feel confused, like you don't necessarily know what to think or who to trust or um, what to do. And because they think that you're confused, they also think that with this Three of Pentacles here, you want to come toward them and like work with them in order to find stability because right now it feels unstable. Right now it feels confusing and a little fearful, a little scary. And to come together to work on something, I think that they are under the impression that this is something that you are going to want to do in order to try to stay. Okay, so we have courage, relief, and release. I think that they are they're recognizing that you want to sever this connection. You're trying to come up with the courage. They're like, I feel like you're just like, they see you as like trying to figure out what the heck to do, but like you would like to have the courage or summon the courage to release this connection so that you can heal. They know that you look at them as a cause of turmoil. I did not like that. Let's get you some affirmations. My happiness is a direct reflection of how quickly I can shift my perceptions from fear to love. I think this is really important, especially if these three cards are resonating with you of like wanting to find the courage to sever this connection or release this connection in some way. And I think that this card, if that has resonated with you, is really calling you to start looking at this from a perspective of self love rather than fear of the unknown or fear of what could possibly happen. Um, Start shifting your perspective into one of um, how can I show up for myself and and love myself? How can I advocate for myself? I don't like this at all. In all honesty, like if this is resonating, I'm gonna put like the domestic violence hotline in the comments. It's not okay to have someone confused. I see grace and possibility in all of life's. This is something that like you're wanting to do and like you're ready to do it, but like you're scared of the change. Like maybe this is with womb here, and I mean like this is heavy. This is a strong dependency. And with flow here, I'm not really sensing flow, like they think you're going with the flow. I'm sensing that they think you are in this connection still because it's more comfortable than having to take a step forward or having to go out into the unknown. Okay, I'm ready to go big, rise up, and step into my power. Okay, pile one. Well, this is what I am seeing for you. If it resonated, I'm sorry. Um, you always have you always have free will and the power to change your course, and um, there's always help when you look. Kind of like how Mr. Rogers said, "Find the helpers, you'll always find the helper." Um, yeah, I'm sending you so much love and so many hugs, and yeah, I'm sorry, pile one. Um, I'm really rooting for you. I wish you the best, and hopefully I'll get the chance to see you in another video on a more lighter note in the future. Hello, pile 2. So today we are asked, how does your person think that you see them and your connection? So the oracle cards that you have received so far are True Love, the Box, your person feels like you see this connection as well as how they approach you as something that consists of unconditional love. Um, I'm sensing with the box here that they might be thinking that you see them as somebody who maybe isn't the most, I don't know if exciting would be the right word, like maybe not the most adventurous or creative. It's like I think that they feel as though you see them as somebody who perhaps just doesn't really think outside the box. And this could really be just their own insecurities talking, where they kind of feel as though they're not all that cool, or um like they don't have anything exciting to bring to the table. But the one thing that they do feel confident in, that you do see them as, is a good, loving partner. And with Goddess here, I'm picking up on them feeling like you know how worshipped you are. There's an element of sensuality here and divine femininity, and they are under the impression that you know just how attracted they are to you, that you know what kind of hold you have on them. Um, and another thing that I'm getting with this box is actually like they think that you know you can trust them and that they're not going to cross any sort of lines. They're not going to betray you. They're going to stay within the confines of this connection respectfully. Um, but let's keep, this is definitely not as heavy and confusing as pile 1. That one was rough. Okay. How do they think you see them? Anxiety, determination, and balance. So, with anxiety and balance here, I feel like you see them. I'm just going to say you see them because it's really, really hard to continue to like clarify that it's them, what they're thinking. So, you see them as somebody who is really anxious, um, really worried, perhaps not the most secure or confident in themselves. Um, and with balance here, I'm sensing that you see them as somebody who, man, it had come to me when it came out and it's gone now. It had to do with anxiety. Like I'm sensing with anxiety and balance that there's like an element of um I mean the word that's coming to mind is boring, but I think that that's like so, I think that word is coming to mind because that might be what they think of themselves as, is like not as adventurous or cool, more like responsible and like kind of like just like nervous a little bit. Um, Very responsible. I'm picking up on responsible energy. And with determination here, I think that you also see them as somebody who would really go above and beyond for this connection. Really would. There's an element of stability here with this balance. There's an element of of security, stability, and consistency. It feels safe. Um, okay, let's keep going. How did they think you see them? We have the five of. I'm kind of picking up on this energy of fear, fearful of abandonment. King of Pentacle. That's so interesting. The Two of Swords, the Four of Wands. What do they think that you see then? Too many. And do you have this? Um. So this King of Pentacles reversed with the Sun. Oh, and on the bottom of the deck we have the Empress. Okay, so the King of Pentacles reversed along with the Sun is indicating to me that they don't understand. There's this element of confusion as to why you think they're so wonderful. Like, I think that they think that you are, oh my God, how am I trying to say this? They think you see them as this King of Pentacles upright. I don't think I'm going to do this type of reading again because it is very confusing to me. Trying to, I hope I'm making sense. I really do. I think they think you see them as this King of Pentacles, somebody who is strong, capable, responsible, stable, mature, um, warm, caring, gentle. And I mean, those are all wonderful qualities to have in a partner, right? And for it to be reversed, this is showing up reversed because this is their insecurity talking. This is this level of anxiety or the box that I'm feeling where they're looking at it like what's so great about that? Like there's so many other great qualities in other people out there that I don't have. And then with the Sun here, it's like they see you viewing them in such a healing, loving, innocent nature. Like the Sun is all about healing and illumination. And I think that you see them in a way that they don't necessarily see themselves, and it makes them feel good. But with the Five of Pentacles and the Two of Swords, and then the Three of Swords in Death, there is this huge fear of abandonment, and I think that they are feeling very self-conscious about this. Like they're very aware of how they are projecting this energy onto you, and they are under the impression that you view them as somebody who is very emotional, very fearful of making any sort of decision or change or um, anything really that could potentially impact this connection negatively. Like I'm kind of picking up on like a conflict avoidance in a sense, and it's from like a deep fear of abandonment or of this connection coming to an end of pain. And so these cards are coming out here because they are under the impression that you are very aware of this. This is something that I think makes them feel very insecure. And it's here, they have these big fears because what they have with you, it feels so wonderful. And I think that with these cards here, there's acknowledgement that you, at least they truly believe this, you feel the same amount of love and joy and stability and happiness and peace and just overall, it's just so loving, such loving energy. You feel it too. And there's not a doubt in their mind that you don't love, that you aren't, like, I almost sense like you view them as family. Like, and I don't mean it as like, oh, like you're my brother. You're like a brother to me or something like that. Like more like, I don't know. I I don't know how to explain it. I don't mean it like that. It's just like there's romantic love here, but there's also just that eternal oneness kind of. And with the goddess here and then the empress here as well, which is more goddess energy. I think that you see them as somebody to care for. There's like an element of comfort to you. You feel a need to comfort this person, to nurture this person. You see them as someone who is in need of that. Let's keep going. Okay. We have safe travel. How do they see, how do they think they see them or this connection? We have home. Yes, it's like it's coming out over this Four of Wands, which is all about home. And then, I picked up on like a familial energy because the Four of Wands is all about home. And then the Empress is like the ultimate motherhood card. And I'm just sensing this like feeling of like peace and safety and um it like goes beyond, this is how I want to say it, this love goes beyond just like passionate fiery love, although that's here, and it goes into that gentle unconditional purest form of love there is, that transcends the physical world. Okay, and then we have knowledge. So they could think that you think that they're really smart, that you gain insight from them and it's something that you value. And we have psychic care. So it could be that they feel as though you see them as somebody who can teach you a lot about just about the world and the universe and the laws of the universe, how to develop your psychic abilities, how to be. I think that they're viewing themselves, or they are under the impression that you view them as somebody who's incredibly and very connected to the spirit world, or just to their own higher. And with psychic here, the image of it looks like two rings. So I think also this psychic card, if that wasn't resonating with you, could be indicating that they think you feel as though you two are um, kind of like soulmates or life partners or just deeply connected on a soul level. And with safe travel here, like the one thing that I'm seeing, okay, so with safe travel and home, I could see this as they feel like you see this connection as um, something that's progressing into perhaps moving in together if you haven't, or changing residences together. There's this element of change, and with home right next to it, I think that for a lot of you, it does have to do with housing or with residence. However, these don't have to go hand in hand. This safe travel could also be indicating that they think you see them as somebody who you want to build a life with. And then part of that is going on adventures together, traveling together, seeing the world together. Um, yeah, there's just like this, there's an element of insecurity here that is showing up on your person's end that I don't necessarily think um, I mean, it could be coming up because they are aware that their insecurities are pretty obvious, or at least they feel as though they are. But yeah, I'm picking up on a lot of not realizing this. It's this energy of them not realizing their self worth or what they bring to the table, and they're like shocked that you see these lovely things in them. Okay, let's go ahead and get you some affirmations. What affirmations are there for pile two? What affirmations are there for pile two? We have I communicate with ease and grace. People are willing to embrace what I have to say. Instead of taking on the fear of others, I reflect love. Oh, kind of threw these out. I think they're important. We have my kindness is a gift I bestow upon the world. And all that I love is more important to me than all that I feel. This there's there's two cards here indicating to choose love over fear, and then we have kindness here and communication. And I think obviously you should take these affirmations however they resonate. If there's a message here for you that is just for you, I might not pick up on it, and you should definitely take that message. But what I'm seeing here with all four of these cards is that um, it might be beneficial to communicate um, in this Empress and Sun way, in this loving, gentle way that they see in you. Um, the level of care that you have for them, and also the acknowledgement of their fears, as well as like perhaps even even an expression of your love, if that is something that you are feeling in return. They're under the impression that you do just as strong. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile two. If it resonated, I would love to hear about how it did in the comment section down below. And hopefully I will have the opportunity to read for you in another video soon. Bye! Hello, pile three. So today we are asking, how does your person think that you see them? And also, how do they think you see? So I've been getting really confused in all of the other videos, the other two videos that I've done so far. So please bear with me. I really hope that it makes sense. I think I might try my best to just say, you see this person this way, or you feel this way, or you're thinking this about this connection, because trying to put all those words together about them and what they think you see is just a little too much for me. So I'm going to do my best. Okay, so the cards that were pulled for you are Apology, the Vow, and the Liberator. You see this person as somebody who has broken their promise or has betrayed you in some sort of way, has let you down. Whether that was like a spoken, like an actual agreed upon thing, or maybe it was an unspoken type of understanding that you had between the two of you. There's this element of betrayal here. And the light attributes of the liberator are freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. And the shadow attributes are imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate. And um, what I feel is that they think you are seeing them as somebody who is trying to make. They could have in the past showed up in these shadow attributes. Perhaps ignoring legitimate constraints has to do with them having ignored their own constraints in their life when they agreed to make a promise to you or agreed to make some sort of commitment to you. And now they are trying to show up in these light attributes where they free themselves from outmoded beliefs and negative thought patterns. There's this element of actively trying to make this betrayal or mistake or letdown right. And if they have not, if they're not actually doing this, but the betrayal or the letdown is resonating with you, they are under the impression that you see them as somebody who owes you an apology and who owes you changed behavior and who owes you a recommitment of or a new promise or an opportunity to make this right. So either you feel as though this is something that's owed to you by them, or you see them as somebody who is trying to make it. So let's keep going. I'm gonna get. How do they think you see them in this connection? How do they think you see them? We have how do they think you see them? And this this is too many. I'm just gonna take so you see them as somebody who perhaps is really sure of themselves right now when really they when really they maybe shouldn't be if they really have screwed up as badly as some of the energy I'm picking up on. But there's this element of confidence here that you're seeing in which they really feel as though they can like just come back and everything's going to be handy dandy, or they really are like just really confident that they will be able to show you that they have changed or that they have a higher value or sense of worth in terms of this relationship now. And with comfort and magic here, I'm sensing with comfort that you um, might be seeing them in the sense of like they're coming back because potentially it didn't work out with a different situation, or if it's not that, it might be that they genuinely this connection I'm sorry, this reading is, I'm not going to do this reading again because it's just so, I'm so confused. I'm like reading these cards and I'm having to remind myself what it is exactly that I'm reading. So I'm sorry that if it's really confusing because I'm confusing myself. So they think you see them with this magic and confidence. There's a little bit of cockiness here. Um, but I mean, like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. There's nothing here indicating that you are seeing them in these three cards in a bad light or in a negative light. It's more like you're seeing them as somebody who um, might might be coming toward this connection with a new perspective. Potentially could be because um, life. I'm trying not to on my channel. I know I do sometimes, and I'm trying really hard not to, but sometimes I just don't know what else to say except for this. So I'm going to. I feel like for a lot of them, you're viewing them as like you're really confident, but I'm also wondering why you're coming back. I think it might be because life has made you her bitch. Like something happened, and now you're running back with your tail between your legs with a new sense of with a new perspective, understanding that maybe the grass isn't always greener, or realizing that what they had was actually a really good thing. um, and I think you're viewing them as like suddenly they're realizing the value of the. I don't know why I'm getting sick and I'm getting like really confused. And it's not just your reading, like it's been every reading thus far. It's just, I think, for me, I guess. Okay. Um, how do they think you see them and this connection? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna actually take all, and they came out reverse, but this makes total sense to me. So you have the Eight of Wands and the Wheel of. How do they think you see them? Of Justice. Yes, this is that making things right. Okay. So what do they think you see them and this connection? That you think you see them and this connection? They're definitely realizing that they have a lot of work to do, a lot of proving. And then on the back of the deck, so very conflicting energies. They definitely understand that um, the damage has been done, and that there's a lot of blocked energy here, first of all. And then the energy that is upright is much more cryptic. Like it's much more, we have Justice, the Hangsman, and the Hermit. There's not a whole lot of clarity in these cards. Like the Hanged Man and the Hermit are really um, cards that seek clarity rather than clarity is being has arrived. And I think they know that there's an issue of trust here. They know you don't trust them. They know you still view them as this person who just kind of flies by the seat of their pants, who doesn't really recognize what's in front of them, who really isn't all that emotionally available, who really doesn't have the capacity to step into some sort of masculine energy and be giving. Um, Someone who's very impulsive, and somebody who can't make a choice to save their life, who can't commit to. Um, but what I think is with these cards being reversed, I think there's like a little bit of hope on their end, or they really do think that you are still kind of upset about this behavior of this energy that they have shown up in the past. But since they're all reversed, there's like also this element of you may be viewing them as like potentially getting past this, but I don't think that you've gotten past the element of like having lots of options. I think that they're under the impression that this is something that you're fearful. But with justice here, the hermit and the hanged man, um, with the hermit here, this is more of this energy of like having broken a vow. Like I feel like for a lot of you there was separation, or perhaps or perhaps there still is. Like I was saying, like for some of you, you may just be under the impression that does owe you an apology and you're waiting for it, and that's what they're thinking you see them as. Um, but with this, I think that they're also really thinking that you see them as somebody who, in this separation, has gained insight, and has grown, and is genuinely trying to do better, is genuinely trying to make. And with the hanged man here, there's also this element of like, I wouldn't even say acceptance, because with justice here, like it's almost like accountability. Like it is acceptance, but it's accepting. They are accepting their transgressions. They're accepting their mistakes. They're accepting the parts of themselves, and I don't mean they're accepting responsibility for these things. They're taking responsibility for them, and they're under the impression that you see them doing them. They're not. They're under the impression that they're not stupid. Either way, they know that this is what they need to do in order to make things right going. How do they think you see them? We have shift. But you know what? We'll just see what else comes out first. How do they think you see them? Past life, and they all came. Um, so they feel like they're being rejected in their is what I want to say. Like past life is reversed. And so this to me is indicating that they're trying to come back into this connection, and it's being blocked. And I'm sensing the return of of this past because of safe travel here, and that's blocked too. And then with divinity here and shift, it's like they really want to show you, or they're trying to prove to you that they have like really gotten in touch with their introspective, spiritual, higher self side, and have really grown. And both, these are blocked too. It's like you don't necessarily entirely see them for what they are showing you. Like there's just an element of like worry here. Like it's like I think you're hopeful. There's hope here, and there's hope here, but also I think like some damage, significant damage to this connection was done, and forgiveness or moving past this is not, there hasn't, not enough reparations to make things right or build trust back up again has happened. And then finally we're going to get some affirmations. What affirmations are there for pile 3? I can't control the world, but I can control how I choose to perceive it. Creativity flows from me. I am a divine creator. When I see good in others, I acknowledge it out loud. And my power lies in my peaceful. Okay, pile 3. Well, this is where I'm going to leave you. This was incredibly confusing to me. Whew, it hurts my head. So I hope that it made sense to you. Um, I hope it resonated. And hopefully I will have the chance to read for you again in another video soon. Bye. Hello, pile 4. So today we are asking, how does your person think that you and also how do they think you see the. So it's been incredibly confusing for me. Um, I think just like in terms of trying to, I don't know why, honestly, because I do how do they think you feel videos all the time, but for some reason, like my little brain is not wrapping my head around its head. My little brain is not wrapping its head around. Um, I'm gonna do my best. And I might just be saying like you think this or you see this, but like no, what I'm saying, they think you. Okay, so the cards that I have pulled for you are Networker, the Stone, Poet, and Intent. This is beautiful. If you actually see this person in the way in which they believe that you see them, um, you see them as someone who is, for one, deeply romantic. The light attributes of the poet are expresses soul insights and symbolic. This person is very romantic and expressive of their feelings, and I think it goes beyond just words here. I think it's expression just in so many different languages of love, rather than just like verbal language. I'm talking just like all the love language. Um, and with stone and integrity here, I feel like you see them as somebody who is your rock, somebody that you can depend on, someone who has the qualities of your life, um, somebody who really isn't flighty, who has like solid, solid ground and roots and a sense of self, and also somebody who's honest, who's forthright, who has this energy of integrity to them. And the light attributes of networker are enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness, you see this person as somebody who's just a wonderful human being who brings a lot of light into this world, who perhaps is very extroverted, although they don't necessarily have to be. I know for me, considered I'm an introvert, and yet I love people. I love people. I love talking to people, but I think for me, like it's more of like on a one-on-one type of level, or in like small, intimate settings. Um, so they could be really extroverted, but they could also be very introverted. But there's this love of their brothers and sisters, of their human family. And also with networker, I'm sensing that like they would, the term that I'm thinking is like give their shirt off their back to you, but like that's not really what I mean. Like it's more like they would go out of their way to find resources for you for whatever it is that you need. They'd go out of their way to make sure that you feel. It's so lovely. I hope that you actually see them this way. I hope they're actually showing up for you in the way in which they are assuming that you see them, because who wouldn't want something as lovely as just an overall warm, loving, stable, trustworthy, consistent, who is emotionally available and expresses their okay. We have okay. So with intuition and mystery, the energy I'm picking up on is one of awe, or like a very, very, very spiritual. I'm sensing that they think you feel as though this connection is written in the stars, or you don't necessarily understand this connection entirely because it is just so, it transcends like the physical, but there's just this connect. And then with hunger and peace, um, I feel like you see this connection as something that like you want more of. There's this want, but it's not for lack. It's just because it's just so wonderful. This connection brings about a lot of like, it's not a chaotic energy. It's not chaotic in the sense of like passionate yet also emotionally troubled, tumultuous. This is like this is very loving, genuinely deeply intimate. I don't know. It has all the. I guess it has all the perks of like, like that passionate. Those passionate connections that are a little bit tumultuous. That passion is there, but it goes beyond turmoil. There's no, other than just people being humans and occasionally making mistakes. But there's no. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, how how do they think you see them? Multi connection. Out of these things you seasons. Saw this several times. I was wondering if this I I am curious. I kind of reverse, and then the 10, and then on the bottom of the deck, do you have the okay. So let's talk about this Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords because it stumped me for a minute there. Because I saw this kept flashing at me, and I was like, "That's I'm a little weirded out by that because like this doesn't seem like deceptive energy. This just seems so loving." But what I'm getting from the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords is that they are under the impression that you feel as though they or this connection has really helped you um, step outside of your trust. Perhaps someone in the past was very hurtful to you, or there's this element of hurt here that's over, that's ended. It's connection really helped begin or at least catapult a little bit or like push you a little bit further along in your healing journey, and it's ended this element of like paranoia or maybe perhaps even like not showing up in connections authentically in order to have true intimate moments with people. There's this ending here of deception in some kind of way where it's like, and I don't think it has to do with them having ever betrayed you in any way. I think it's like from your past. I think there's hurt from your past that is like kind of you've gained closure from it at this point, and in having worked through that, healed that while being in this connection, you've also killed off a part of yourself that you've also killed off the part of yourself that's like ego of like being betrayed or being hurt or showing up authentically and not being accepted in the way in which you had hoped. There's no longer this fear of that energy. There's no longer that. I think also with the four of this is I sense that like this connection has offered you something and it's a shift in this connection has offered you a shift in perspective to start living life differently, to start seeing life differently, to start seeing people differently, seeing connections differently, seeing yourself. And you also see this person as potentially your twin flame, your soulmate, your life partner, 100%. This is somebody that you feel as though you can be with for the rest of your. This is your partner. Is how you. The Page of Pentacles reverse. I kind of feel like maybe there's like this like feeling in your person of like not being the most like financially sound or financially stable person, and yet for whatever reason, like I feel like they view themselves as this page of pentacles, like rather than like a king of pentacles where they're like financially stable and like in their wealth. They feel as though they're this page of pentacles, and they're acknowledging that this is how they feel about themselves. But then, in terms of how you see them, you don't see them as this page. You see them as this magician. This is as abundant as it gets. They have every single thing they need. They have swords, pentacles, cups, wands. They're the whole package. The whole package. How do you see this person? How do they think you see them and your connection? This is more of this like twin flame soulmate type of energy. They think you recognize them on a soul level. They think you feel as though you have had many lives with this person. I feel like this connection has really helped you let go of the fear of trusting the unknown, allowing other people to have their autonomy, perhaps, allowing other people to show you who they truly are. Yeah, the new moon is giving you this like blank slate type of energy, like it's I feel like you're viewing this connection as or this person as somebody who really helped you kind of sift through your healing, sift through your shadow work so that you could have a new phase in life. It's like perhaps you met this person when you were at the phase of a full moon, but this full moon was like an abundance of trauma or hurt or just things that you weren't feeling happy about. It was like a full moon of unhappiness, and um, this connection is like is a part of a new phase of your. It's really beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and I hope that this is resonating for you and like you see this like your person does, because I would be so happy for you if this is actually what's going on and not just how they're perceiving it. Guidance is available to me now. I know that angels, ancestors, and spirit guides are always at hand. I do not the difficult relationships in my life are the perfect mirror for me to look more closely at my own behavior. This is beautiful. And it's giving me the same like on like what I have picked up on. Like if I were to just like express what I am picking up on, I would say that there was a past relationship that and really betrayed you. And I feel like this connection with the Two of Cups here has really helped hold up a mirror to yourself and helped you kind of like process everything and show it for yourself in a different light, show up just in life with a different perspective. Of course, like that's just, there are 1,000 ways in which these cards could be interpreted. And there's also thousands of views. So I'm sure that's not going to match everyone's scenario entirely, but I do just set a fresh start for like this healing journey. What advice or affirmations are there for pile four? We have there's no such thing as a mistake. Everything happens in divine order. I am being guided to learn. One more for you guys. One more affirmation for pile. And then we have I am ready to go big, rise up, and step into my and my friendships support me, nourish me, and inspire me. This one's a very special one. And if if perhaps this connection is something in which you have really put a lot of attention to recently, and now you're kind of not focusing as much on other aspects of your life, this card could potentially be encouraging you to start nurturing those other relationships in your life that also bring about joy and love. But pile four, that's what I'm seeing for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to hear about how it did. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in another video.